Hello, Virgo love. It's Kat here from Selfunity. Welcome into your part 1 eclipse season reading. So, I am doing a 3-part series for all the astrology signs for eclipse season. And today we are starting out with your full moon lunar eclipse in Pisces, part 1 reading of this series. Part 2 will be for the solar eclipse in Virgo, and then part 3 will be for the integration phase of eclipse season. All right, love. So today we are just going to dive right in and see what messages of guidance and what deep soul activations you need to receive to help you as you work through this eclipse season energy. All right, love. So for today's reading, we are using the Cozy Witch Tarot deck. Let's see what is happening for Virgos, what's being activated within you during the first part of this eclipse season, which is with the full moon lunar eclipse in Pisces, which is happening on Sunday, September 7th. Alright, so what does Virgo need to know? I'm going to take those two. Okay, so first we have the 8 of Cups. If your life feels stale, explore some new scenery. If your life feels stale, explore some new scenery. We also have 11, the first major arcana, Justice. Stick to your truth and everything will turn out just fine. Stick to your truth and everything will turn out just fine. All right, and then we also have the 5 of Wands. A good coven lets every witch have a say. Every witch gets to have a say. All right, Virgo, so let's see what is being activated within you during this full moon lunar eclipse. Okay, Virgo, so I feel that this full moon lunar eclipse in Pisces is going to deeply be activating your throat chakra. Okay, there's something that you have been needing to say, something you've been needing to get off your chest, but you have not been allowing yourself to say it. And I feel that this is coming from a space of allowing yourself to remain in spaces that, let's see how I can describe this. So I feel like you are staying in spaces that feel deeply comfortable and familiar to you, but they only feel comfortable and familiar to you on a subconscious level. Okay, so like your subconscious beliefs are needing to be taken to new spaces, new environments, new connections in order to help you expand and see the truth behind where you've been allowing yourself to remain small and to remain unheard. Okay, so I also feel like another way to describe this example that's coming through is like you're not allowing yourself to give voice to your truth or to speak up and say the things that you need to say or to do the things that you need to do because the spaces that you've been existing in is with people or maybe environments where people have always seen you in a certain light. They haven't really seen you be or become this version of yourself that you're wanting to really be, this version of yourself that speaks up and speaks your truth and says what you need to say. And so because you're still in those spaces and in those connections and relationships with people who have seen you from this one perspective, this one lens, it doesn't really provide you with the opportunity or the possibility to step into a new version of yourself or to really step into your whole truth and who you really are on a core level. So it's not necessarily a new version of you, it's just you allowing yourself to really align with the truth of who you are on a soul level and to actually give yourself permission to say and to do the things that you need to say and to move into the spaces or move in the ways that you're being guided to move in. Okay, so there is going to be an opportunity for you to go somewhere new. And if that opportunity doesn't present itself to you from like external situations, external circumstances, Spirit is guiding you to put in the work, put in the efforts that you can in order to get yourself into those new spaces. Okay, so for some of you, this could be about a job. Maybe you've been at a job for, a couple months to a couple years time, maybe many years time, and maybe you've been trying to get into a higher position than where you're at now. But the people that you're working with, they've just always seen you do such an amazing job with the position that you're in now that they have never even thought to hire you or to move you up along the corporate ladder, or whatever it is. So they are not going to just magically move you into that space unless, one, you ask them to move you into those spaces, or you get on the computer, or you get out there and you start networking with people, and you start applying for new jobs with new companies, new opportunities where you can just automatically enter in to that new job as the higher up role that you're hoping to become and hoping to embody. Okay, I'm also getting this message for a Virgo. This could be a very specific message that somebody is wanting to write a book, or maybe start a blog, or write articles, maybe like write like short stories, or something with writing, like maybe writing articles for like a newspaper, or like magazine, maybe even doing some editing for publishing companies. Somebody is wanting to write. I'm also seeing web design. Okay, so this is very much a little bit career focused here. Let's see if there's anything about relationships coming up before we pull some oracle cards here. In terms of relationships, I feel, again, Spirit's guiding me back to it being really about career focused and job focused, where it's just like the people around you have always seen you in the light of where you've been at, that they're not really helping to open the doors for you to step into the roles that you're actually wanting to be in. And so you have to do the things that you need to do to get yourself there. You have to make it known that you're wanting to be seen in this new light. And for some of you, it may mean that you're going to have to explore some new scenery, explore some new companies, explore new jobs, explore new social groups, new networking groups, and things like that. Okay, but you have to get yourself there. You have to take those action steps to get yourself there, and you have to activate that throat chakra, use your voice to speak up and say exactly what it is that you want, because nobody's going to know if you keep it to yourself. Random message coming through to somebody maybe adopting a new puppy or a new pet in general, maybe like a reptile creature, but I'm also seeing a puppy here. Okay, so we're going to pull your oracle cards from this deck here. This is the Seasons of the Witch Mabon Oracle. So I thought we would use Mabon Oracle because this is coming up very soon if you are in the Northern Hemisphere. Falls on the date of the fall equinox, autumn equinox. Okay, we'll actually put this over here. Let's got one more. Okay, let's see what our oracle cards are here. So we have Scarecrow, number 34. Remember that you are not alone. Move with confidence as you are guided. Remember that you're not alone. Move with confidence as you are guided. And then we also have Kitchen Witchery, number 23. Abundance flows easily and effortlessly into your life. Be in gratitude. Okay. Oh, we have a little critter coming in too. Okay. Okay, so let's see. With the Scarecrow here, this is just kind of reiterating what we discussed here with your tarot cards, but it's also very much connected with the Justice card here, where Spirit just wants you to remember that even though you may feel very alone in this journey, you are not alone. You're really not alone. There are so many people around you, and Spirit's also coming in and saying your spirit team is also around you, and they want to see you succeed. They want to see you prosper on this journey just as much as you do, okay? It's just, again, it's like there's people, the people around you may not seem as supportive as you're wanting them to be because they just have no idea what it is that you're wanting to do, what it is that you're wanting to pursue. They have no idea who it is that you want to be, because this energy, it feels like a complete identity shift almost, where you're really wanting, it's almost like you have always been seen as the receptionist and now you're wanting to transform into the CEO boss babe that you are. But everyone just, sees you working at the front desk, working as the receptionist, so that's how they see you. And it's up to you to say, you know what, I'm no longer going to be the receptionist. I'm now the CEO of this company. And that's how it is, but just nobody knows. And so you have to make it known that you deserve the respect that you're desiring. You deserve it. And you just have to make it known as to what it is that you want to do by moving into the spaces that are going to allow others to see you in the ways that you're wanting to be seen as. Okay. And Spirit's coming in and they're saying, no matter what role you play in a job or in life, you are worthy and you are deserving of respect. Even if you're not wanting to shift from like receptionist to CEO, even as, being a receptionist, you're still very important. You're still very crucial to the day-to-day operations of the company that you work for or the social circles that you are connected to. No matter what role you play in your life situations, in your job situations, your career, you are worthy and you deserve respect and you deserve love and you deserve support for your dreams, your goals, your desires, and for the ways in which you want to be perceived and received by others. You just have to make it known. And so what's coming up now too is setting boundaries. There may be a time and space where you are going to be tested and challenged to set boundaries, to let others know what you're willing to put up with and what you're not willing to put up with anymore moving forward. But you have to step into that confidence role and stick to your truth and speak your truth aloud so that others are aware of what you're thinking, what you're feeling internally. They don't know until you give voice to it, until you speak it out loud, until you express it out loud, okay? And now we have this kitchen witchery here. Abundance flows easily and effortlessly into your life. Be in gratitude. I think this is taking a little bit of a shift from the overall message that we were sharing here today. But this is coming in to let you know that you are endlessly supported in terms of abundance, in terms of connection, in terms of love, in terms of peace and joy. It is found within your sacred spaces. And it's time for you to stop hiding that energy within your sacred spaces and expand it outwardly into the spaces where you feel you don't have those energies present in your life. By giving voice to it, by moving in a different way, by moving in the way that you move in your sacred spaces, and the way you move in those spaces that feel a little bit more confining, that feel a little bit more tense. Bring the truth, bring the energy of the truth of who you are to all spaces in your life. Don't reserve it for just when you're at home, in your kitchen, in your sacred space, in your room. Don't just reserve it for those times when you're alone. Bring it out into the open when you're connecting with others, when you're at work, when you're in your social circles, when you're in those external environments that exist outside of your home as well. And then the other message that I was getting here with kitchen witchery is Virgo, you may be inviting in some new hobbies this eclipse season. Also, Spirit is recommending a gratitude practice. Tap into gratitude as you are working through these shifts, because when we go through changes in our physical environment where we are having to assert these changes ourselves and you're not really used to asserting those changes, it can be very easy to get caught up in the thoughts around, thinking you did something wrong because it's just different. You're moving in a different way. So try to remember to come back to reflections of gratitude for the changes that you're initiating, okay? Remind yourself why you had to set those boundaries, why you had to make those changes, why you had to move in a different way, why you had to say what you had to say, and just reflect on what would still be happening if you didn't say those things that you needed to say, if you didn't do those things that you needed to do, what would still be happening versus what has been initiated now that you have spoken your truth aloud. All right, and offer gratitude for finally giving yourself permission, allowing yourself to step into the energy of confidence and your truth outwardly and express it outwardly so that people are no longer seeing you in those ways that you once thought that they were seeing you in. And now they're giving you that respect, that support, that love, that dedication that you deserve from others. Okay, love, so we are going to pull one last card here. I felt guided to use the beautiful Beyond Lemuria oracle cards for these activation eclipse readings. So let's see what your activation card is. All right, what is Virgo's? There's actually two there. I was just going to pull one, but you have two. So we have 46 Star Seer. Star Seer. All right. And let's see what our next one is. Wow, 47 Stepping Through, taking steps. Taking steps. Okay, Virgo. So you already see the truth as to where you want to go. And look, there's the ladder. We were talking about climbing the corporate ladder there. Climbing the ladder. You are climbing the ladder. But look, you're at the bottom and only you can get yourself to the top. And like, this is the vision of herself. She's seeing herself as this shadow self, as being at the bottom, even though you're not really at the bottom. You're just at a certain stepping point on your journey. And look, she's holding the ladder. She's supporting the ladder. You're supporting yourself on this journey. And you can just kind of use your other hand, pick yourself up and move yourself to the top. It's all about the perspective as to how you're seeing yourself and how you're holding yourself as you move through this journey. Okay, but you can start to step through the portal and move yourself closer to the top just by transmuting all the energy that we talked about in your reading today, okay? And I think I mentioned we have 46 to 47 taking steps. You're taking the steps to get yourself there already just by thinking about it. But now it's time to stop thinking about it, get out of your head, get into your body, activate your voice, activate your throat chakra, and speak your truth aloud, okay? And some little messages coming through with these cards too is dance may be deeply activating for you. Practices that allow you to really get into your body, get out of your mind and into your body. Okay, so if you're, about to have a very difficult conversation with somebody where you're going to have to set boundaries, you're going to have to speak your truth, you're going to have to show others the truth of what you're seeing about a situation, try to do some type of practice before you have that interaction that allows you to surrender to what you're feeling intuitively in your body. So do some breath work, maybe dance a little, put on some music 5 minutes before that meeting and just dance a little. If you have to go outside and do a little dance or go hide in the bathroom, do a little dance, do that. Spirits is coming and saying you don't have to hide these practices. You can do it outside in the open environment for everyone to see, and when they ask what you're doing, you can share with them, let them know what you're doing, let them know how it helps you, because not only will this activate your sense of confidence and trust in yourself, but it will also help to show others that they can just do the things that they need to do as well in their own life to feel centered, to feel regulated, to feel confident and trusting in their own divine personal truths. All right, let's see if anything else is coming through here. Oh, Spirit wants me to talk a little bit about the symbolisms here. So we have the lotus flower. You are a blooming lotus. You are rising from the depths, coming up from being in the muddy waters, coming up to blossom and bloom and show the world the truth of who you really are. We also have lots of blue, so throat chakra activations. If you're feeling called to during this eclipse season, do some throat chakra guided meditations to help activate your throat chakra. Also, just singing, talking out loud to yourself, maybe doing some kind of like screaming or like yodeling, anything that activates your throat chakra, maybe even humming a little bit, that will activate your throat chakra. putting your hands around, like just like rubbing your neck, like rubbing it up and down, rubbing it side to side, just giving love to the part of your body that houses your vocal cords, just giving love to it, telling it thank you for being an expression of your divine inner truth, okay? Because your throat chakra is what allows you to express the truth of what you're feeling and thinking on an internal level. All right, so there's that gratitude again too in connection with the throat chakra. So this lunar eclipse is deeply activating your throat chakra and deeply activating your ability to move into the physical spaces and the physical embodiment of how you have always seen yourself and known yourself to be, but now allowing the external connections, relationships, and environments to see you in the light of that truth as well. All right, loves. So that is it for your part 1 eclipse season reading. I'm so grateful you could be here with me today, love. If you enjoyed this reading, please give this video a thumbs up. Let me know what stood out to you most in this reading, what resonated with you most in the comments below if you feel called to. And if you would like to book a more personal reading with me to help you through this eclipse season portal that we are going through right now, I do have availabilities. You just have to send me a DM on Instagram at selfunity or email me at selfunity@outlook.com, and we can book a personal reading for you to help gift you with more support and guidance as you move through this eclipse season portal. All right, loves, that is it for your reading today. I thank you so much once again for tuning in. Until next time, bye, loves.